What is going on, you guys? This is Eric Cuts for the Win, and this is me fighting the Dragonlord Placidusax. Placidusax? Yeah, this two-headed dragon thing, this special secret boss in Elden Ring. And it's not too hard to get to this boss. You don't have to do a special quest or anything like that. You just need access to the end game. And I will probably be showing a clip of how to get there. I'll speed it up a little bit so we can save some time. But yeah, this boss wasn't too bad considering, my character. I have 2 rivers of blood, katanas, on me. And I just worked with that. I tried to use my L2 to get in that bleed damage as much as I could. The problem with this fight and what I struggled with at first is that because this dragon spends a lot of time on the ground, I was very tempted to just tank it the whole time and get super greedy. I was just in there spamming L1, spamming L2, trying to dodge whenever there was fire or something like that, but it would just catch me most of the time. And I would just end up using all my flasks and almost beating him, but I couldn't get there. So I knew that I couldn't do it that way. I had to be less greedy, less aggressive, and pick and choose really when to hit this thing. So I did what anyone else would do, and that is use the Mimic, because the Mimic does take off a lot of the attention from the boss, and I figured I can use the Mimic to go ahead and take the heat in front of the dragon, and then I can get behind him or just find more openings to go ahead and get in attacks. So you can see I used the Mimic, I healed immediately, which I don't recommend because he is shooting down lightning in specific spots that you're standing in. So don't be like me, wait for those to kind of happen, and then you'll have your opening to heal after using your Mimic. And what I recommend doing is just picking and choosing when you're going to hit this thing, because if you have your Mimic, he's going to give a lot of attention to the Mimic. So you would have room to go ahead and attack him in the back or in the front or wherever you choose. But he's still going to counter with fire on the ground, whether it's because of you or the Mimic. That fire does have a spread if you're near him. So you're going to want to avoid that. There's going to be lightning that comes down in specific spots, again, whenever he chooses to. And you're going to want to get the heck out, especially when he does this big spread on the ground. It's kind of like a big explosion. It gives you a warning. And the bad thing about being with my katanas and just going in and trying to get hits is that I get stuck in animation. So I would get stuck in that attack. And that could be pretty damaging. It won't kill you as long as you have enough health like I do, but it's still damaging. So you want to avoid being too greedy and spamming and attacking nonstop, because I know it's easy to do that. But you have to just kind of resist, even with your Mimic, because you don't know if he's going to land an attack that hits both of you or decides to choose you to go ahead and swing at, because he does this swing attack as well. You're going to want to dodge through that. The problem is this guy's so big that sometimes your attention's on his tail or his feet or his arms, and then you don't see what else is coming. Same thing goes when he's in the air. He's so big, but he disappears on you a lot. So when he's in the air, what I did was I just kind of wrapped the camera around, tried to find where he was going to swoop in from, and just prepare for it. But there were times I couldn't see him. I was just aiming the camera at the wrong direction, or it was just too fast because I was healing or something. And I had to just listen for audio cues. You can hear him when he's about to swoop down. So if you can't see him, listen for those audio cues and hope for the best. Roll at the right time, and you should be able to avoid him. I would say 70% of the time I was able to avoid it, but still, it happens. You do get hit. It's not the end of the world as long as you have enough health and protection, but it can suck and get frustrating because you don't see him sometimes. So yeah, when he lands back down after doing his little disappearing act, you can get back in there and go through the process again. Backing off when you have to, picking and choosing when you're going to attack, being patient. Again, he's going to do fire. He's going to do his lightning attacks. I found that when I ran away from the fire, it was much safer. If you happen to be too close, just try your best to get behind him. You still might be getting hit, but you won't be getting hit multiple times like you would if you were in the front of him. So definitely get to the back if you have to, but if you can, run away. Run away from the fire. Definitely run away from the lasers. Those lasers are deadly. I noticed that the closer I was, the more damage it did. So when I was able to run away and maybe it touched me a little bit, I was hurt, but I survived it. When I was close, it was a one-hit kill. I was done. So running away comes in handy when he's doing those specific attacks. But after they're done, there's plenty of openings for you to get in there and hit him. Use your rivers of blood, use whatever you got. If you're using magic, I'm sure you can just stay back a lot of the time. There's so much room to work with, and he's not the most aggressive. He is if you're near him, but if you run away, there's a lot of times you're able to heal. There's times you're able to use your magic or whatever. We're all going to have different builds, so I keep that in mind. But if you're a build like mine, I felt this was the best way to get through this boss. I'll quickly show how I'm leveling up. You can see my levels and everything, all my stats, in case you're curious about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped. I know I'm kind of late. I'm sure a lot of people have beaten this boss already, but there's always going to be new players and newcomers coming to this game. And I'm hoping this will help them in the future. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.